On this channel, we primarily journey into the past, but in this video, we're going to take a trip to the future, which starts Tuesday in Tokyo, and talk about which teams will be the most intriguing in 2025. Note that we are not predicting who will be the best teams, just who will be the most interesting. A team might be interesting for being great, they could also be interesting for being terrible, see last year's White Sox, or they could be interesting because of a unique approach or an interesting group of personalities. So here we go, we'll do one per division. Let's start with the AL East. I'm gonna go with the Red Sox here. Sure, the Yankees can grow beards now, and the Orioles have a team built entirely with guys with the most annoying names. Gunnar, Jackson, Adley, Colton, Jordan,
Morgan, Mason, Matthew, and Modine.
Right.
But there's a lot of interesting questions surrounding this Boston team. How will Alex Bregman take to playing second base, and will he bounce back after his worst offensive season? Could be a doubles machine in Fenway. Was it a good idea to rebuild your rotation with 3 injury-prone pitchers? And how much will Jarren Duran regress after an insane breakout year? For the AL Central, I'm going with the Tigers. I feel like this division has to be either Detroit or Kansas City. The White Sox could only be interesting this year by being somehow worse than last year. Not gonna happen. Probably. The Guardians or Twins will almost definitely win the division, as they've done every year since 2015. It's kind of getting old. Wait a second, the White Sox won this division in 2021? How do I not remember that?
The Mandela effect. Either we're sliding between parallel realities, or like a simulation and it's glitching out.
Do you hear yourself right now?
Maybe it's in my head, Claire, but what if it's not?
Maybe none of this is real.
Anyway, Twins or Guardians feel inevitable once again. But the Royals and Tigers were super interesting teams that turned a corner last year, but I think Kansas City had some amazing injury luck in the rotation, and Bobby Witt Jr. is bound to regress, but still probably be amazing in 2025. Tigers feel like they have a lot more upside in their lineup still. A big free agent pickup in Gleyber Torres, a potential breakout year from top pick Jackson Jobe, and that elite bullpen that carried them to the playoffs in 2024. AL West. I think there's going to be some morbid curiosity about the A's, a zombie team playing their quote-unquote home games in Sacto, Northern Cal. The A's have the opportunity to do the funniest thing possible, bring home a championship to Sacramento. You could also make the case for the Astros, since it will be interesting to see how they fare after losing Bregman and Kyle Tucker. Will this be the first time they miss the playoffs since 2016? But I gotta go with the Rangers in this division, who had a World Series hangover in 24, but I think they come back strong in 25. The lineup is still stacked with Seager, Semien, Garcia, new additions Peterson and Berger, and potentially big breakout years from Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford. NL East. I think the Braves and the Phillies will both be exciting teams, but gotta go with the Mets, who made the biggest free agent splash of the offseason by signing Juan Soto. It's good to see that he's slimmed back down in spring training after showing up to Citi Field in his Mets TC Tuggers jersey. That Mets lineup is going to be fun to watch this year. NL Central. This is a tough one. Pacoda predicts only the Cubs being over 500 in this division, but I'm not buying that. Milwaukee will 100%, no doubt, win this division going away without an ounce of drama, and then get swept in the wild card round by like a mediocre Diamondbacks team. You can kind of put your money on that. The Pirates will be really interesting 1 out of every 5 days, but otherwise, The Cardinals seem like a mess. I was shocked to realize they won 83 games last year. They were outscored. The Cubs are pretty interesting, but I'm going to go a bit nuts here and say the Reds will be the most interesting team in this division. They've got a superstar shortstop who's incredibly fun to watch and a young fireballer ace. They added Brady Singer to a solid rotation and bring in Austin Hayes and Gavin Lux to the lineup. Not exactly earth-shattering moves, but if you squint your eyes, you could see this team surprising some people and contending for a wild card. NL West. Clearly, it's the Dodgers here. How can it not be? You've got Ohtani returning to the mound, the international signings of Roki Sasaki and Hae-Sung Kim, re-signing Teoscar Hernandez and Tommy Edman, and bringing in free agents Blake Snell, Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, and Michael Conforto. This team could flirt with 110 wins, except 75% of their pitching staff will get injured, and they'll still probably win around 100. All right, those are my predictions. Let us know in the comments which teams you're most interested in watching this year.